Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. I hope you're having a fantastically awesome day so far. My day is going pretty good. The weather's actually reasonably warm today, which is great because I hate the cold, which I will always mention because I hate it that much. Anyway, today we are reacting to Mississippi style pit beef. Now I have no idea what that is, but the thumbnail looked delicious, so we're going to be checking it out. And whenever Malcolm's cooking something, it always turns out to be quite a banger, so we're going to be checking that out. But before we do, if you haven't done so already, please make sure you hit the subscribe button, and if you're feeling extra frisky, you may as well give the video a like as well. I do have a Buy Me a Coffee page and a Patreon page linked down in the description if you want to help support the channel, but please feel no obligation to do so. And without further ado, let's check out what the heck this Mississippi style pit beef actually is.
Hey, welcome back to How to Barbecue Right.
It's quiet again.
Today, y'all, we're hanging out at the smokehouse, and I'm going to cook up some pit beef, my style, a Mississippi boy pit beef. Normally, pit beef's famous in Baltimore, Maryland. That's where everybody knows it. But it's bottom round roast, seasoned and seared over hot coals. We're not slow smoking this one. We're putting a crust on the outside. Then we're going to...
My Bucky's cup is in the sink. I was too lazy to wash it, so I'm using Cat's cup.
Slice it thin and make a big old pit beef sandwich. You know it's going to be good. Let's get.
I know it is, Malcolm. Yours is always good, mate.
Bottom round roast. Now, typically a bottom round roast is a whole piece of meat. Think bigger than a whole brisket. They don't have those at our grocery stores here in Mississippi, or at least I hadn't seen them. But I am able to find bottom round roast. They're usually cut in about 4.5 5-pound pieces like this one right here. It's a lean cut of meat, doesn't have a lot of intermuscular fats or working muscle, so it can be tough. That's why we're going to keep it on the rare side and slice it thin. So I'm going to leave the fat cap on this roast because I want it to render. I want it to drip while it's cooking over the hot coals. Now that drip action is going to make it flame up. That grease is going to catch on fire. It's going to come up and it's going to kiss the outside of this roast.
I was just going to say it was going to kiss it. You took the words right out of my mouth. I love using phrases like that to describe it when I'm cooking. Like, oh, I'm just going to let the flames kiss this, you know, or tickle it or something.
I'm going to start with some olive oil. That's going to be my binder. You can use whatever you want. You just want to rub a light coat of olive oil on the outside. Now, they don't use a traditional barbecue rub. You don't want anything with sugar on pit beef. So what I did, I started with my foundation, that salt, pepper, garlic. Y'all know that AP. Mixed it with some onion powder, some chili powder, some paprika, and a little mustard. But you could use whatever spices you want in there. Just keep the sugar.
I've never used... why is it doing this again? I've got to close the blinds probably. I've never used onion powder before. I don't know why. Maybe I should try because I'm pretty sure we can get it here. I've never used onion powder or garlic powder. I always use fresh garlic if I can. Well, we can because we grow a load and we've just got so much garlic. But I've never tried the powders. I'll definitely give them a nudge though.
We don't want it to burn at these high heats. You want to get all sides of it, turn it however you need to, and put a good coating of the seasoning on it. It's a big hunk of meat. It can handle it. I'm just patting it in, making sure every inch of it is coated. If you want to do this the day before, wrap it up in plastic wrap, stick it in the refrigerator, absolutely do that. You don't have to, but it would just make those flavors intensify as they work down in the meat. So I've got my Primo ceramic grill fire.
One of his 600 grills and barbecues.
Lump charcoal, couple tumbleweeds in there to get those coals good and hot. I've got it set up for a 2-zone fire, a hot side and a cool side, just in case I need to move the pit beef over as it's cooking. So we're going to go on fat side down first, right over the coals. And I always have this safe zone on the opposite side. If we need to move it if it gets out of hand, but we don't care if it starts flaming up. I want the outside to get flame seared. I want to get a nice crust on it, but we want to keep it nice and medium rare on the inside. So after a few minutes, we're just going to we're going to start rolling our pit beef, and I bet we got a good char on it. Oh yeah, see how that fat cap's already juicy? It's got a little sear action to it. We're just going to start flipping our pit beef on the opposite side. You just roll it every 2 or 3.
That looked pretty dark to me. I don't know whether it was just the lighting.
Minutes. We're going to come back and check it and see how it's doing, but the goal is to get all the outer surface seared off. It's a process developing that sear on the outside, but we're just going to keep working our way around. Coals are still hot. That's about as long as I can hold that one. Let's stand it back up on this side now. This is where
you get the grill tan. Your arms are all red and your legs from standing too close.
Because I noticed my coal bed's burning down and I'm making a judgment call. I think I need some more coals, and you know what? We're going to grab our little tool here, set this grate off to the side, because I just want to keep that fire going. I mean, I don't know how much heat it's going to take. Put our grate back in place, let those coals get caught up. It'll take it a few minutes. Sometimes
my brother actually stood on a grill once. We took it off the bar, like the grill. We chucked it on the floor. I can't remember. I was young, and he walked on it, so he had this diamond blisters all over his feet. Good times.
If you notice
I think it was
running
my
low
brother.
on coal, don't be scared to add a little more. So after about 5 minutes, I got my coals good and hot again. We're just going to roll our pit beef right back over to it. I need to go on this side a little bit, right over that fire. Fat cap looks good, feels good, and it won't be long. I'll start looking at the internal temperature. We've been on probably 20 minutes so far, and we just turning and burning over hot coals. Look at that sear action. Meat, especially beef, over hot coals, it just don't get no better. It ain't the prettiest thing, but I just got me an old ball of foil. I'm just using it
Just
to
hold it
hold
up.
that roast up where I can get that sear on all sides. And we just doing a whole lot of turning today. That's all it is. It's pretty easy. You keep some hot coals, you keep turning the meat, and it's going to turn out just like this, crusty on all sides. It is starting to get
to
where I
look
want it.
good.
I mean, once I get all the sides about like this, I got a little bit of light spot there. That's all right. I'll make that up. So I've been turning and burning for almost an hour. Look at this.
Holy smokes, an hour.
It looks the way it does. Dude, I got the outside sears.
I know compared to what he usually cooks that he puts in the barbecue, like in the smoker and stuff, an hour is nothing. But when you're standing there turning it,
Much as I want it. You don't want it to burn up. You just want it seared all sides, and I don't see anywhere I have missed. So I'm going to take it right to the edge of my cool zone. It's still picking up some heat from the coals, and this is the point where I'm going to go ahead and put me a probe in. I want to see what it's doing. So let's just go right towards the middle. Check it out. I mean, it's saying right at 100 degrees. We're just going to steady let it sit here and cook. And I don't know at this point, like in Baltimore, they would not close the lid. You probably could, because you got it seared. You just want to hold the heat on it and bring it up now. But for the sake of it, I've been cooking the whole time with the lid open. I'm going to keep letting it rock and roll. Just checking back in. We still got a nice bed of coals going. Y'all can see we've crept up to 114. I still want to take it to at least
6
120.
degrees
We've
more.
been on about an hour and 10 minutes total. So it's been pretty quick. You just got to stay with it. Move it around when it's over that direct heat, but now I hadn't really touched it. I'm just kind of letting it sit here and cruise. I still feel a lot of heat right here. It's just not hard direct heat. The little baffle inside this Primo is stopping that heat from coming over. All right, now once my alarm's going off, it says 120, I want to verify it with another thermometer. And we're at 120 right there on the nose. That's where I want it to be. Now we got the pit beef off the fire. I just wanted to sit here and hang out, let those juices kind of redistribute back in the middle of the meat. All right, now I let this pit beef rest for 20 minutes. I know, smells.
I'm
so
really
good
keen
here.
to see how it
Hard
looks
sit
when he cuts
here
it.
and smell it, but I did. I'm not going to throw the juice away that came out, but it wasn't just a whole lot. I don't know if you can see
actually,
it on camera.
yeah.
There's a little in there. I'm going to set it to the side.
Not a lot at
Now
all.
it's time to cut into this dude and see how we did. Bottom round can trick you the way the grain runs. Right now, this top muscle looks like it's running across this way, so that's the way I'm going to start. But if I get into it and I see it needs to turn, I'm going to turn it, because the important thing is always cut against the grain, especially with the working muscle that can be on the tougher side. We want to keep it
Great
thin.
tip. I didn't
We
know
wanna
that.
keep it
Well, I
against the
did sort
grain.
of.
Let's just
Come
start
on, what is
taking
going on with the
little
light?
slices off of it. Maybe a little bit more over on the ends. That's okay.
Yeah.
That was the side we were really searing. And I'm gonna get in it and see the grain tricked me on that one. It's really running this way, so I'm cutting with it. I don't want to do that. I want to take it and turn it now. We're gonna start coming at it.
You give those really overdone, well done bits to the people you don't
off
really
this
like.
edge. So I'm just going to keep
Oh,
it
there
thin
you
to
go.
win, take off a little of that crust first, and start shaving it down real thin. Now we're getting into some of the good stuff. I mean, it's really what I want it now. Now I'm getting into that medium rare look, and that's what you want. A lot of times when you cut beef like this, the light will fool you. It'll make you think it's over what it is. But if you trust that thermometer, it'll usually get you there. And a lot of times, when you're searing that meat over that hot coals, it'll kind of fool you. It'll get a little more done towards those outside edges. That's okay in this case. As long as you can keep these slices thin and across the grain, it's going to be just right. So let me show you how I'm going to build this pit beef sandwich. First,
5 or 6 slices.
Roll. You could use any kind of bun you wanted. Then you got to have some glue or some sauce. Now, for a pit beef sandwich, they use a sauce they call tiger sauce. My favorite mayo, the blue plate, horseradish, squeeze of lemon juice, and some salt, pepper, garlic, that AP
I love
seasoning.
beef with
That's all it is.
horseradish.
You whip that up, set it in the refrigerator, and just let it hang out while you're grilling the pit beef. Right on the bottom bun, just spread it around. I love that horseradish pop. I'm going to try a little bit of it after. Oh, yeah. So we're just going to go in
love
and
him.
get some slices here.
He just seems like such a nice
Pour
guy.
As little as you like. Y'all know I want a thick sandwich.
5.
Y'all, I want me a little extra drippings. Let's make it juicy. We're gonna put a little thin sliced white onion on it. Then we're going with that top bun. All right, I'm gonna cut this dude in half because that's a man-sized sandwich.
That is
Look at that. We got
awesome.
all that pit beef stacked up. The tiger sauce on bottom. The onions. Now that bite. Thinly sliced, still juicy, still tender. I mean, look at that. I shaved it as close as I could, and that's pretty daggum close for a
He's
knife.
done a great
Might
job with
burn
cutting
yourself
it
with
actually, because that's really thin. I was just thinking, like, I wonder with the crappy knives we've got here in Slovakia. We obviously, when we moved here, we had to leave all our decent knives in back in the UK. So yeah, we've got some really crappy knives, and I get so frustrated because you can sharpen them until you're blue in the face. They just don't hold an edge. I've got to save up for a proper nice knife set eventually. But yeah, he did a great job cutting that.
Oh, the hot fire, turning it every so often. This is for you. Kick back, get you a cold beer, and have some fun with it. Y'all, thanks for hanging out with me today. Subscribe to the channel if you like what we're doing. You know you can find us
I already
on all
have.
social
Long ago,
platforms.
Malcolm. Malcolm, you were one of the first channels I subscribed to on this YouTube channel, my Jono Graham one, my Jono Graham Reacts one. I love this guy. I love the way he cooks. I just think food is, I don't know, I love food. I love food. It's actually made me hungry, and I've not long eaten. Guess what I ate today? It'll probably make you sick because a lot of people won't enjoy it. But I went and I really fancied a like South African style curry. So I have got a few South African spices that I've saved for long. They're probably stale as hell now. But I made myself a chicken heart curry, and it was freaking awesome. It was so good. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Yeah, I've got to, don't know what I'm going to do now. I don't have any beef, so I don't know what I'm going to eat now. Anyway, have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.